The Pacers look to take charge. We're going to bring it to you here from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. From the sideline, our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. Well, it was the Indiana Pacers in their last game, a loss to the Bucks.
Man, that was a stinker. I mean, that's one of those games where you really can't find anything that they did well. The game just got out of hand and really just a shaky performance across the board.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with you. And you know how optimistic and positive I am. But it's hard for me to find anything positive to take away from that. That's a game you just want to forget about as soon as you can.
And nothing tips off a broadcast like getting the lowdown from the sidelines. And we've got David Aldridge there for that. David, good evening.
Well, guys, Victor Oladipo trained with Dwayne Wade heading into last season. Now, Wade says, we talked about not knowing the path of your career. Don't put limitations on yourself. The result for Oladipo was an all-star appearance. Kevin?
He's definitely on an upward trajectory, DA. Thank you. Well, we see a lot of rookies getting their first taste, Clark, of NBA action. What was the hardest part for you transitioning from the Big Ten to the NBA?
I think the speed of the game, the number of possessions, again, with the 24-second clock, going back to the 80s, there was no shot clock in college basketball. So you could drag it out and play walk-it-up basketball. In the NBA, you got to turn that thing over every 24 seconds. And that speed and those number of possessions, a lot to adjust to. And then everybody's strength and talent. That, too, was eye-opening and exciting, too, because I realized a dream to be out there with those guys.
And smarter players, too, on that throw-up.
Yeah, they know their stuff. I like to say, when you get to the NBA, you're a PhD in hoops.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. Crabbe teams with Carroll on the perimeter. Allen is out there with Kenneth Faried. And it's Russell in at point guard.
Shooting two.
And the first one drops. And Miles Turner, obviously one of the strongest shot blockers, Clark, in the NBA, in large part to his length.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the timing, too, Kevin, is a big asset in blocking shots. I think he's already a strong defender, and he's only going to get better as he gets more experience and strength.
Second free throw, no good.
Yeah, you know, he's a big guy that has tremendous agility and already is an elite defender. Miles Turner now has to work on being dominant on offense. You know, Alan Crabbe is a strong shooter, and it's fair and accurate to call him a 3-and-D type of player. He came into the league known mostly for his defense, but that had fallen off for a spell. Fortunately, he was able to get back on track and be a two-way player of some value.
That's good from Crabbe. And last season, Crabbe heard the complaints, Clark, about his defense and used it as motivation.
That's the way you have to do it, Kevin. I think constructive criticism is really the last thing you want to hear, but it's really what you need to hear if you're serious about getting better. And to Crabbe's credit, he took that constructive criticism to heart, went to work, and he's gotten better as a defender.
Last season, a huge step in the role for Alan Crabbe as he was given a larger piece of the pie on offense.
Yeah, you know, he saw his first season, Kevin, as a consistent starter, and oftentimes that's a boon for a young player. He had career highs in shot attempts from the floor and from behind the arc. And as you might expect, consistency was a bit of a challenge with the increased role, but I think it's something that Crabbe will relish and embrace and do well in due time.
Bogdanovich against Carroll. Allen kicks to Russell. Allen, a screen on Collison. Stolen by Collison. Shot from 12. Misses off the right iron. And the Nets with possession. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
The game is the first of a 3-game season series for these clubs, both looking to take round one.
And Greg, first time you face a team in the season, that's when you're looking to take that mental advantage. Demonstrate you're better, and that could make it easier down the road.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
Oladipo misses. So first quarter just over a minute and a half in. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
You know, after being in the cellar for a few years, the Brooklyn Nets have started to turn things around here. I mean, good young core to build around and add to, and I think things are starting to look up in every department.
Brooklyn shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw shots of the night. First free throw is good. And Clark, the Nets during this turnaround, they've done a good job of positioning themselves.
Yeah, you can look at a number of things. 1, taking on vets with bad contracts to accumulate assets. 2, went from lacking picks in the draft to having a lot of options. Those things, when you combine them, help you speed up the process of getting better.
Both free throws good from Fareed. And Clark, you played your entire career with the Pacers. What was your favorite memory during that time?
Well, certainly realizing the dream of being an NBA player, Kevin. I was the 8th pick overall. It was close to where I played in college at Ohio State. And then being able to perform at a high level to be a unanimous all-rookie team selection, that was a pretty good highlight for me starting my career.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the stripe.
Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Fareed, a screen on Collison. There's Russell with a 3, and again, no good by Brooklyn. And here's Oladipo. A 24-point outing in their last game against the Bucks in Milwaukee.
And he caused major problems with his defense as well. He had 4 steals by the time the game was over.
Now here's Cram, following the miss by Miles Turner. Fires the 3, and Crabbe is good for 3. Crabbe's got 5 now.
You must chase Crabbe off the three-point line because he's very effective at scoring from there.
Sabonis, the pass to Oladipo. Back to Sabonis. And Bogdanovich kicks to Collison. There's Sabonis. Parked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call.
And here's a look at some numbers for Carroll. How he did last season. Averaged about 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go. I like what I'm seeing right now.
Now here's Cram. He's got 5. He dishes it to Russell. Over Collison. The kick out to Fareed. Outside Russell. Pass to Crabbe. From deep. They get the rebound. Fareed, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, Fareed is a highly energetic player who takes good shots. I like to see him improve on his defense moving forward.
This is his 2nd trip to the line in this one.
And just a shade over 70% from the line a season ago. That's an area I'm sure he wants to improve.
That free throw, no good.
Tell you what, as a former Pacer myself, the fans have to love this young core they put together. Oladipo and Sabonis via trade, Turner through the draft. That's a very strong core to build with.
The Pacers making a switch here. Young's checked in. He hits the 2nd from the line. And for the Pacers and their young group, Clark, they all want to grow together.
Yeah, there's outstanding alignment from the very top of the front office, obviously with the coaching staff, and then the players. Tremendous chemistry when you look at the way this team embraces one another. And Oladipo has emerged not only as the star, but the leader who's very well respected by his teammates.
Well, you have to like their work on the boards, Kevin, particularly here to start the game.
Yeah, I like the way they're setting the tone. Really playing with a lot of energy here at the start.
Just reliable, guys. He's just always trying to make the right play.
Allen dishes to Carroll. Out to Russell. Allen, a screen on Collison. 6 on the shot clock. Russell, no good.
The defense has to be better. I mean, they were fortunate that he missed that mid-range jumper. It certainly wasn't because of the defense.
Nets leading by 3. It's Carroll on the wing. He's covered by Bogdanovich. And it's Russell missing.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
Young pass to Oladipo.
Crabbe pulls it in.
Well, at best, the defense was average. I mean, he must make sure to finish these layups. Got to make those.
And so far this quarter, he's been a little off on his game.
Just a touch. I mean, it seems like he's forcing shots a little bit to me, Greg. Not playing his game right now, and with every miss, the pressure intensifies.
Now Crabbe. Thaddeus Young missing on his 3. That's tipped. Crabbe kicks to Russell. Nailed from three-point land. Russell's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Back to Crabbe. Fareed, a screen on Oladipo. Here's Crabbe. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Crabbe's got 7 points in the game. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
Well, you look at D'Angelo Russell, and this season and last season, I really think it was just about maturing, and that goes with all young players in this league. It's a process. I thought he needed to get away from L.A. and the episode he had there with his teammates, and I think he's now more focused and knows more of what it takes to be successful in the NBA.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Indiana. Evans comes in for Bogdanovich. The Nets also changing it up. Davis is checked in for Allen. And it's Rondé Hollis-Jefferson in for Damari Carroll. Back to O'Quinn. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. And it's Brooklyn scoring again. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats for the Nets?
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Here's O'Quinn after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Here's Evans. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. And for Russell, he had maturing to do, Clark, off the court, but he has also showed maturation in his game on the floor as well.
Yeah, it's a natural progression for guys who are eager to get better and take constructive criticism seriously. He doesn't force it as much on offense now. He knows the importance of being efficient with the ball and not spectacular.
Now here's Evans after D'Angelo Russell's miss. Evans left side. Can't hit from 12.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Did a good job guarding the mid-range, extended out nicely, and definitely bothered the shot.
Now here's Collison. Not a good performance from him in that loss to Milwaukee. O'Quinn dishes to Evans. Just 5 on the clock. Free throw line jump shot. That misses off the backboard. Brooklyn leading by 8. Grab the pass to Davis. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
In that tight, with that much of an advantage height-wise, there's just not a lot the defense can do.
Evans outside. Down low. Here's Oladipo. And for Victor Oladipo, his jump forward, Clark, as a player, came through a lot of small improvements, but perhaps the largest was his shooting.
Yeah, I like the fact that you mentioned the incremental improvements in those small areas. You know, his percentages certainly went up inside and out, but he created a lot of chances for himself and his teammates with his driving ability. And he got very comfortable shooting off the bounce and not just relying on the catch and shoot. And boy, his confidence, you could just see it elevating with each passing month of the season. And this guy's a bona fide all-star.
No good on the free throw.
Last year it was a great home return for Oladipo, the former Hoosier. Played easily his best season of basketball since being the second overall pick back in 2013. Made his first all-star appearance as well, and I've got a feeling he's got more of those all-star appearances in front of him.
And he sinks the second.
And, you know, Oladipo is one of those multifaceted players. I mean, he can do just about anything you ask of him when he's on the court.
Dinwiddie kicks to Fareed. There's the pick. Inside, Hollis Jefferson. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And for Oladipo, the change was a welcome one for Pacer fans who saw him come over in that Paul George trade with Oklahoma City.
No doubt about it. Perfect opportunity for Oladipo. It was like the homecoming for him, Kevin. He played in Bloomington at Indiana University for 3 years, endeared himself to the fans there on and off the court, and that just carried over when he got to the Pacers. He did change his body, though, and got stronger and quicker with the ball, a big reason for his ascension. Great job of utilizing that screen and finding space to knock down the jumper. Good basketball.
Out to the right wing. Hollis Jefferson passes to Davis. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
Tone setting, that's what I call it. Grabbing this one by the throat early on and then squeezing it hard.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. Clark, you once worked for the Indiana Pacers, vice president, player relations, and really had your fingerprints on a lot of part of that organization. Could you see yourself going back to an NBA front office role?
I don't anticipate that. I love what I do as a broadcaster. I really feel as though I'm right where God wants me to be. Currently had a wonderful tenure with the Pacers, 32 years between playing, broadcasting both radio and television, and then 4 years in the VP of Player Relations role. Phenomenal relationships with a number of people, but no, I think that chapter for me is in the rearview mirror.
I speak for everyone playing the game, watching the game. We're glad you're in broadcasting, I'll tell you that.
Thank you, partner.
Here's Dinwiddie looking for his first basket still in this one. For the three. Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Pacers trail by 11. McDermott, no one around him. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Got to get a hand up on McDermott as soon as he crosses half court. He's got that kind of range.
Davis sets a screen. Here's Napier, and it's good off the back of the rim and in. Napier's got his first bucket of the night.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Davis following the shot by Evans. Evans with the rebound. Young from outside. Brooklyn with the rebound. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
And that's one of those games where I just felt the attitude going in was wrong. I think they believed what was being said about them in the press, and that was a game that they just couldn't win.
I'm going to disagree with you here. I don't think it was about lacking confidence in themselves. I just think the talent difference between the teams was too much for them to overcome.
And Young with the stuff.
Yeah, I'd like to see more passes like that from McDermott, especially when guys are open.
Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Evans. Davis sets a screen. Now here's Napier. He's covered by Joseph. Off the pick. And it's good off the back rim and in. Napier's got 6 points.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
They set the pick. Pick by O'Quinn. Shot off the pick by Young. That one no good. Some solid defense from Fareed.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring. How about he has yet to miss 4-4 to start?
Yeah, he's setting himself up to be their go-to guy today.
Now Evans. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee. From deep three-point range, and no good trying to get that one. Domination in the first quarter. It's been pretty lopsided. Brooklyn ahead, up by 15. And the second quarter about to get started. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And guys, the Nets enjoying a nice lead here.
I think they played great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
Exactly. I mean, they've made their presence felt on this end. Excellent job contesting shots so far.
Nets leading by 15. On the court right now, second quarter starting for the Nets. Allen is out there with Davis. Then there's Shabazz Napier. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3 slot. Now here's Sabonis. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Tipped away. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And Tyreke Evans, a player who's still found a way to improve his game.
You know, he added the three-point shot that is much more consistent than what he had earlier in his career. Has always been a playmaker and strong at getting to the rim. But now that you have to respect his outside shot, I think he took a step back to being the player we thought he'd be after that amazing rookie season.
Shooting 2.
No good on that one. Tyreke Evans not the biggest free agent this past offseason, but Greg, many teams vied for his services.
Pacers were able to win out, and he should be a good fit. Can act as another playmaker and ball handler for the team. Turned down playing with the Warriors, Lakers, and Thunder to come to this Indiana squad.
And he sinks the second.
Now, you got to appreciate the skill set of Evans. I mean, Tyreke Evans can play a few different spots for you, and he's got nice handles for a guy his size.
Now here's Allen. Here's Napier. Sabonis grabs the board.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
Here's Dinwiddie after Tyreke Evans has scored. Davis sets a screen. Napier. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
And, you know, last season the Nets saw a lot of improvement as a group, in large part due to several talent jumps by players on their roster. Organic development, we call that. Overall, just great growth from the young group on the Nets.
Free throw dropped for Napier. And as you said, Clark, a lot of strong progression last season from the Nets' young core.
Yeah, you look at Hollis Jefferson and LeVert, both took big steps forward. Spencer Dinwiddie continued to grow as a point guard. I mean, Harris, Hollis Jefferson, LeVert, Dinwiddie, nice core pieces to build around.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for Tyreke Evans. And both free throws good for Napier. Second quarter of basketball, about 1 minute played so far. And there's the foul. Will go on Shabazz Napier. That's his first foul. to the right side. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Turner with the screen. Here's Joseph. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Dinwiddie. The three-pointer, no good. Pacers trail by 14. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. He's coming off a 10-point game against Milwaukee.
And, you know, that night his defense was remarkable as well. He was excellent at coming up with steals.
Shot clock at 5. Screen by Sabonis. Off the pick, Bogdanovich shoots, and that one comes up a bit short. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Davis with a screen on Bogdanovich. Here's Dinwiddie. And no good that time. And it's the Pacers taking it the other way. At the conclusion of this game, they're off to Minnesota where they'll take on the Timberwolves. It's game 1 of a 3-game road trip.
And, you know, that's a second foul early in this quarter. I think he's got to be much more cautious in how he defends now.
D'Angelo Russell's checked in for Dinwiddie. Down low and stolen by Russell. To the inside, Sabonis with the steal. And Joseph kicks to Sabonis. Screen by Sabonis. And once again off the mark by Indiana.
That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
That'll go on McDermott. That is his first foul of the game. Darren Collison, he's checked in for Joseph. And the Nets making a change here as well. Alan Crabb, he's checked in for Ed Davis. And Brooklyn has possession. Russell kicks to Carroll. There's the pick. The Pacers pull it in. Outside Bogdanovich. Collison gets a wide open look. Bangs home the trifecta. Collison's got his first 3 points of the game.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync. Tremendous communication and awareness.
McDermott dishes to Turner. And there's the foul. He'll go on Shabazz Napier. That's foul number 2 for him.
And still early in the period, and they're only 1 foul away from being over the limit.
And Indiana making a change here. Oladipo's checked in. Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
He is in the zone. There's a reason he keeps getting the ball. They're feeding him because they trust him to lead their team.
Collison, the pass to Turner. Oladipo against Russell. Fades back. Off the left rim and out.
Not pretty. You just got to shake off a miss like that.
Here's Carroll. Second chance shot. It's rebounded by Indiana. Turner's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Sabonis kicks to Bogdanovich. The second chance effort. Collison, no good.
A slight rebound advantage for them. One more column in their favor, and it's all adding up.
Well, you take a look at all of the stats, the team stats, that is, and that's one of the many areas that they've had the advantage. And as a result, they've got a big lead.
And that one's good. Russell. And guys, Kenny Atkinson, a coach who has a knack for player development.
Yeah, he does, and the players' improvement on this next team speaks to that. I mean, Atkinson has done a terrific job of improving his young players. Also gets the most out of the veterans and teaches them new skills and approaches to their game, which endears him to the players and helps his team.
And here is Crabb after Miles Turner was able to get the triple. Carroll with the screen on Bogdanovich. There's the pick. Back to Crabb. Shot clock at 6. There's the triple. It's rebounded by Indiana. Sabonis has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And the pass to Collison. Indiana moving it around. Sabonis, no good. Nets leading by 14. Passes to Crabb. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to go on Bojan Bogdanovich.
Crabb gives this team a lot with his versatility. Scoring, rebounding, defense. He does really everything.
The Nets have been coming through at the charity stripe. They've made 7 of their 8 attempts.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
And the first one drops. Clark, obviously everyone's looking for talent, but talk about some of the players whose work ethic sets them apart in your mind.
Jimmy Butler's work ethic, I think, made him into an all-star. Obviously had good size and athleticism, but refined his offensive game and is now a multi-time all-star, and his work ethic is top level. Any of the guys that you've seen impact their teams or come from low draft positions or undrafted, Patrick Beverly. How about him as a guy that you look at and say, man, this guy's work ethic has really made the difference in his career.
And that's the tough part of trying to keep him on the floor. Now he picks up that 3rd foul.
And Domantas Sabonis, the other part of that Paul George trade, Clark, he is proving to be the real deal.
Yeah, he very much is, Kevin. This guy has strength, tenacity, plays with a competitive edge that you like to see. And I think he's got a nice head for the game. He feels and sees and thinks the game pretty well. The one thing I think he's got to get better at, though, is not committing the elementary fouls that get him into foul trouble at times. You know, going into the last season, many thought the Pacers were in rebuild mode, but ended up 5th in the East with a fantastic season and strong finish. Saying they overachieved doesn't even begin to describe their season. I think they surprised everybody.
And it's Allen with the jam.
Oh, fantastic dunk. And he hangs around up there just for a little camera time.
Yeah, maybe he didn't want to land awkwardly. Who knows? But there he is, and we see it very clearly.
Either that, guys, or he wanted the photographers to get a good shot of him.
And many people thought the Pacers last season would be near the bottom of the East. Clark, that was not the case at all.
Not at all, Kevin. 7 games it took the Cavs to eliminate the Pacers in the first round, and you never know, or I don't think you can ever dismiss or discount what that kind of playoff series can mean to a young team like the Pacers. Things are looking up in a great way for the Pacers going forward.
Turner with a screen on Russell. Out to Turner. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. You know, these are the guys you need to be aware of if you don't want your pocket picked. Here are last season's steals leaders. Number 1, Victor Oladipo.
There were so many nights when he controlled the game through his defense. Not a surprise to see him ranked at the top.
2 shots.
And that one falls for Turner.
And, you know, last year was a bit of a mixed bag for Miles Turner. I mean, he was expected to take another big leap forward into stardom, but didn't quite get to that point. But sometimes growth is not a straight line. It's up and down, sideways a bit. This young man's got the character and talent to be an all-star in the near future.
All free throws good from Turner. And Clark, with Turner last season, battled some injuries and had to work to come back to his consistent rotation time role.
Kevin, how many times have I said it? I know we're in a microwave age, but you have to be patient with these young guys, especially big guys. They just traditionally take longer to develop. You've got to remember he played 1 year of college basketball, had an outstanding rookie year. The sophomore year, a little bit bumpy, but still progress made. This guy's got great promise and potential, and he's going to be an impact player for a long time. And I tell you what, he's doing his best to contribute, but he's been out of sync, out of rhythm. Luckily, this team still is in front.
And it's Evans missing.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
The Nets have gone 9 of 10 from the line, so making the most of their chances. That free throw good from Hollis Jefferson.
Well, I tell you what, if you're a fan of the Nets, you've got to like the job the front office has done. When they took over the team, it was stuck in a quagmire of losing. Now, the fans have some hope as they're building towards success.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for the Pacers. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And for this Brooklyn front office, they've done a good job with what they started with.
Yeah, and even though they've taken nice small steps forward every season, complacency has to be stiff-armed and held back. The GM wants to preach impatience and doesn't want the team to feel full or satisfied.
And really good shot selection there. Evans looking locked in and comfortable from that range.
Russell with the bucket. Russell's got 10.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
Here's Young after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Shoots over Carroll. Bank shot, no good. Nets leading by 18. To the paint, Russell. Great D that time from Collison. Indiana's when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. It's tipped.
And, you know, a strong physical defender, when Carroll's in the area, he's got good timing to block shots.
Pass to Hollis Jefferson. Russell kicks to Fareed. And that one off the back of the rim and in. He's got 5.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Well, when you look at the assist totals, heck, they've been clearly the better team.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it.
Evans outside. Dishes it to Oladipo. Pick by O'Quinn. Oladipo shoots off the screen. That's good on the jump shot. Oladipo's got his second basket.
Can't afford to allow Oladipo any airspace. That's when he strikes. Effective at utilizing any screen and all screens that he gets.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. 6 points for him.
That's his first personal foul.
And Rondé Hollis Jefferson, one of the rare wing players, Clark, who can't really threaten from outside, but he makes up for it with his defense.
Yeah, he really does. I mean, this guy is unafraid of anybody. He's 6'7", he's athletic, he's strong, he's aggressive and smart. There's nobody he gets matched up with that he doesn't think he can lock up.
And he makes the first.
No wasted trips at all. They're taking care of business at the line.
One way to protect the lead, knock down those free throws, and 100% free throwing for the quarter, that's superb.
Doug McDermott, he's checked in for the Pacers. Corey Joseph comes in for Darren Collison. Davis is checked in for the Nets. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Alan Crabb. So he gets them both.
Well, you talk about defensive potential, all defense potential. Look no further than Rondé Hollis Jefferson.
Kick by O'Quinn. Here's McDermott. The kick out to Young. Gets to the corner and buries it.
Great job getting to the right spot on the court. Beautiful passing all the way around.
There's a screen. That's tipped. So it looks like the Nets will retain possession here. And let's take a look at the playmaking here. This chart with the assist totals split between the front court and the back court tonight for Indiana.
And their bigs looking to create offense for others. You got to give them credit. Not trying to play hero ball or make the home run play. They're just being patient, surveying the floor, and looking for the best shot for the team.
Dinwiddie, good on the triple. Dinwiddie's got himself on the board with 3 there.
And that's one way to extend the lead. Continue to light it up from long range. They have all the confidence in the world right now from the three-point line. They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Here's McDermott after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Kick by O'Quinn. Young against Fareed. Young outside. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
And you know, as good as Young can be in the open court, doesn't quite carry over to his free throw shooting.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
You know, yeah, guys, last year was a rough one for him at the stripe. I mean, it's going to be hard for him not to improve on those numbers. They were that bad. 2 shots.
And he makes the first. Both shots good from the stripe. 27 seconds left in the first half of the game. Here's Dinwiddie. Coming in off a 21-point game his last outing.
That's his second. Shooting for Brooklyn. Kenneth Fareed. 2 shots.
That free throw good from Kenneth Fareed. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. Indiana's gone 2 of 4 from three-point range so far in the second quarter. Back to O'Quinn. It's stolen by Davis. To the inside. And a strong finish with 2 hands.
Yeah, loitering above the rim. Hollis Jefferson with athleticism to burn.
From deep, Evans. No good on that one. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets finishing the quarter up by a whopping 24 points. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, folks. Welcome back. This is Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal at 2K Sports. Let's talk first half. It's Brooklyn out in front at the half. They are completely in control of the game, leading by a massive amount. Kenny, some perspective, please.
Well, we can't look past the huge contribution their bench has provided. They've got this lead mainly because of the injection of energy and offense that they got from their reserves. That's what a coach wants to see. I'm guessing the minutes will be spread out a little bit in the second half.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, they got to do a better job on the glass. Ernie, they got outworked. They were weak physically. That's part of how they fell behind in this game. I think if they can control those things, they'll be okay, Ernie.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And we return to Indianapolis, Indiana, with a look at all the activity taking place in this terrific downtown. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game. As Napier really making a difference here.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters. Just a great effort for him for the entire half.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter where he is on the floor either, Greg. He's making it look very easy. He's looking to score the ball.
Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. And Nate McMillan, a coach with multiple stops in his career, had good success last season with the Pacers.
And, you know, to some that was a surprise, but McMillan does a lot of things well as a coach. He communicates well, he demands accountability, and his teams typically play a smart brand of basketball, and actually it's a reflection of how Nate was as a player.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Pacers. Filling out the wings, it's Oladipo and Bogdanovic. Sabonis and Turner inside. And it's Collison in at the 1 spot.
That's a jump ball.
Got a piece of it, and so it's Indiana with it. He kicks it to Turner.
Nets foul.
Jamari Carroll's checked in for Brooklyn.
Jamari Carroll.
Here's Collison. The jump shot from the baseline is right on target. Collison's got 5 points so far.
The mid-range game of Collison, very impressive. I mean, capitalizing from this area on the court, nicely done.
Here's Russell. Played in with a nice touch off the glass.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Collison, the pass to Sabonis. Back to Collison. Screen by Sabonis. Collison using the pick. Carroll with the rebound. Carroll's got 4 rebounds now tonight. There's Russell with the 3. And again, Brooklyn with the triple.
Really putting on some kind of show here is D'Angelo. This is what everybody on that team wants to see more and more of from him.
Now, here's Sabonis. Turner with the screen. Sabonis kicks to Turner. Oladipo for 3. The rebound by the Nets. Their next game is at Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. And that game will be game 2 of 3 straight on the road. And a fast break now for the Pacers, and the basket by Collison.
And Collison, I think, is at his best when he's shooting the ball from a set position. More of a set shooter than a guy who shoots it well on the move.
Now, here is Russell. He's got 17. With the teardrop, Sabonis grabs the board. Sabonis has got 4 rebounds in this game. Collison, the pass to Turner. Turner with the screen. Inside. Over Allen. The shot by Turner, no good. Brooklyn's gone 6 of 12 from outside. A very nice 50% mark, shooting the 3-ball well. Here's Oladipo. It's good from the top of the key. Oladipo's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
Nice look there from Bogdanovic, the shooter keeping an eye peeled and open for the open man.
Allen with the screen for Russell. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Russell's got 7 points for the quarter.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row. from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
And the Pacers call time here. And when D'Angelo Russell is on the floor, he's looking to attack at every chance he gets.
Yeah, he's a smooth operator now. This guy has all the tools. He's best, though, I think, when he's challenging defenders and probing the defense. Such a skilled and gifted passer. He's got a nice blend of speed and has gotten stronger, which I think is really an asset for him. He can get a little streaky at times, but when he's on, you got to ride his wave because it's a good one.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Napier's checked in. It's Allen with the drive.
No question he got bumped on that shot.
Yeah, the officials didn't need to talk that one over. It was obvious.
Elbow. 2.
And one thing that the Pacers struggled with last season and will have to answer this season, Clark, is finding a big man pair that works.
Well, you know what? You look at Sabonis and Turner, and they both have outstanding futures ahead of them and didn't play as well together as you would like, but I think there's still time to see if that can be worked out.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, it's been a long time coming for Nets fans, but starting this offseason, Brooklyn will actually own their own draft pick.
I hope for all Nets fans they can avoid this situation for a long time.
Good on both. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. And Turner kicks to Oladipo. Turner with the screen. Back to Oladipo. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Let's see what the Brooklyn Nets have coming up. On Wednesday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Friday, they'll be facing Drew Holiday and the New Orleans Pelicans.
And for that game against the Warriors, I think this squad has the confidence that they can play to their strengths against them. And even though they're going after the #1 team right now in our league, they feel they can get the W.
You look at rebounding now, Clark. Teams relying less on one guy and more on collective team rebounding, especially, it seems, on the defensive end.
Yeah, and you think about it, Kevin, with the space and pace game, positionless basketball, if you will, or versatile basketball that takes place, more guys are spread out and away from the goal. Bigger guys are not always camped in the lane, so everybody's got to rebound the ball, more so today than in past decades because, again, the three-point shots are coming at a rapid rate. Longer rebounds are available now, so everybody's got to be attuned to rebounding the ball.
Pacers have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. Oladipo right side, outside Collison. Turner with the screen. Shoots it up. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. 10 points for Darren Collison. Napier passes to Allen. Carroll with a screen for Allen. Kicks it to Carroll. 6 to shoot. Fires for 3. It's good from long range. Carroll's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
You know, it's important that you be aggressive in the pick and roll, and Carroll is really good at using that to dominate the defense.
To the middle. Here's Oladipo. He's off on that one. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
And that one goes out of bounds. Last touched by Sabonis.
Nets ball.
Let's take a look at last year's leading shot blockers. You don't want one of these guys in front of you when you're coming down the lane. Third is Miles Turner.
And shot blocking is the element of the game that I think he cares about the most. That's where he puts in that effort and energy.
Here's Allen. Unable to get that one. Good work defensively by Turner. Sabonis kicks to Collison. There's the dish to Oladipo. Back to Collison. good, and it's Oladipo picking up the assist. Collison's got 2 now from beyond the arc in the third for Indiana. Napier passes to Fareed. Now Carroll, defended by Sabonis. Fareed, a screen on Bogdanovich. Fareed, and 3 chances on that possession, but they just couldn't find a way to score. Oladipo for 3, and Indiana another 3.
You got to keep an eye out for Oladipo from downtown at all times. I mean, he's a sniper from outside.
Brooklyn leading by 21. Screen by Fareed. Now here's Napier. Defense right on him. Shot clock at 6. Screen by Fareed. The Pacers pull it in. Sabonis has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Inside. Rebounded by the Nets. Crabbe's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Here's Allen, and stolen by Bogdanovich. To the paint, stolen by Fareed. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for Brooklyn.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
So Indiana ends up with a new group on the floor. Then for the Nets, Davis is checked in for Kenneth Fareed, and Dinwiddie subbed in for Crabbe.
One shot.
Free throw, good. Allen. Indiana's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Now here's Joseph. Napier covering. Joseph, that's good.
Well, he's a legit scorer from there now. Joseph's jump shot has come a long way.
Pass to Davis. They set the screen, and he gets the bucket. Dinwiddie's got 5 now.
And that bucket adds to what has been a big difference in points in the paint between the two teams.
Yeah, it's really been quite a contrast. I like the way they're attacking the middle at their offensive end.
Now here's McDermott. Here's Evans. Misses the fadeaway jumper.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Fantastic speed on the break. Speed kills, showing no mercy in transition there, partner.
He dishes it to Young. To the middle. O'Quinn, high post. He's against Allen. The 3 from Joseph. And Davis pulls it down. Davis has got his 3rd rebound on the night. It's Carroll on the wing. From 10 feet out. Rebounded by McDermott. The Pacers have gone better than 53% from the floor since halftime. Shooting 8 of 15. Here's Young, and Young slams it home.
You know, those are the plays where you really see Young's quickness off the floor. He's got a great, quick second jump, which leads to second chance scores.
Dinwiddie kicks to Davis. Carroll, no one around him. And again, it's the Nets missing.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And, you know, Thaddeus Young, the veteran forward out of Georgia Tech, over a decade of service in the NBA, and he's still one of the more dependable scorers you'll find in terms of over the course of a season.
First free throw is good. And for Young, a veteran, as you mentioned, Clark still one of the more athletic players in the league.
Yeah, he really is. Very impressive how long Thaddeus has been as consistent as he's been. Does a nice job running the floor. Really good in shot selection, and has become a more vocal leader as he is one of the older guys in the league now.
He's off on the second.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A +10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Now here's McDermott. Ripped away. And the pass to Dinwiddie. Sinks the three-pointer. Dinwiddie's got 8 points.
Really, it's a thing of beauty to watch Hollis Jefferson move the ball like that. I mean, he's a team-oriented guy who looks to make the pass as much as possible.
Now here's McDermott. Feeds it to O'Quinn. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Here's Hollis Jefferson. And it's O'Quinn with the rebound. O'Quinn's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Young's shot is off. Nets leading by 22. To the inside, Allen. Evans gets the rebound.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
You know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Now here's Evans. He's got 7. 6 to shoot. Shoots. And the foul on Kyle O'Quinn. That's foul number 2 for him. Bogdanovich is checked in for the Pacers. D'Angelo Russell's checked in for the Nets. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. Davis sets a screen. Pass to Russell. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
One of the things you love about Hollis Jefferson is his activity. I mean, he impacts the game really without having plays called for him.
It's Bogdanovich on the wing. Young sets a screen for Bogdanovich. Pass to Evans. Screen by Young. A floater, and it's Evans missing.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
And a chance here to take a look at the shooting chart for Russell.
Well, he has turned in a complete offensive performance so far, and he isn't through yet. I mean, you have to admire the work rate he's put in to get open on every trip. Even when he isn't the one scoring, he is affecting the defense as they have to gravitate towards him.
Free throw, good. Allen.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
No misses yet. You can't do much better than that, guys.
And Allen drops them both. And for the Pacers, they're shooting only 32% from the field. Plenty of signs of struggle by this offense today. Evans inside to the left side wing. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break.
The 6'9" wingspan of Russell reaches, picks it clean, then there he goes off to the races.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. There's the pick. O'Quinn dishes to Bogdanovich. Trains it from beyond the arc. Bogdanovich has got 5.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
Russell passes to Davis. First trip to the line for him here.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
And, guys, that was an element of his game that he could not get turned around. I mean, he was really in a funk, and it lasted all season.
That free throw, no good. And the Nets making a change here. So he comes up empty at the line. 1 second left. The shot, no good. And so it's Brooklyn, holding a very comfortable 25-point lead as the quarter comes to a close. Their defense has been active and effective. And we'll be right back after this. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Indiana's gotten the three-point bug tonight. They've taken 15 shots outside the arc. They're 6 of 15. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. Russell and LeVert in the backcourt. Jared Dudley out there with Harris. And it's Davis at the center filling out the middle. He played for a small market team in Indianapolis, so difficult now for them to retain all-star level talent, or so it would seem.
Yeah, that's always been the case, Kevin, and I don't think that's changed much. You know, KD goes from Oklahoma City to the Bay Area. Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward go from small markets to Boston, although Kyrie was traded. Gordon Hayward was signed as a free agent. I think it's just one of those inherent issues that will continue to be a challenge for some of the small market teams. That's why the draft and developing drafted players for those teams is so critically important.
Here's Leaf. Back to Joseph from downtown. Knocks down the three ball. Joseph's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for the Pacers.
Yeah, that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Here's LeVert, buried from 15 feet out.
Hey, you know, the mid-range J continuing to look better over time for LeVert, showing real improvement in knocking that shot down.
Now here is Holiday. Joseph with the ball. They set the pick. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Joseph's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Superb at making use of any screen he gets. Joseph knows how to create for himself.
Harris a screen. Dudley the pass to LeVert. Outside Russell. And they double up Russell. 4 on the shot clock. Excellent use of the screen that time.
Bit of an oversized playmaking guard allows Russell to see over and around defenders. Great look there.
And Holiday kicks to O'Quinn. Kick by O'Quinn. Here's Joseph. Brooklyn with the rebound.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Now, here's O'Quinn. With social media providing instantaneous news, Clark players have to really watch what they say now before they hit the send button.
Yeah, you got to pause before you peck, and you got to pause before you post. That's one of the things I would tell.
Well said. Well said.
That's what I would tell guys when I was talking about this landscape that they're in. Heavily scrutinized, and to the NBA players' credit, they've done a great job with social media. They're very visible, they're very accessible, they're well connected to the community through their platforms, but you do have to exercise some caution in how you go about your social media profile.
The Nets have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. A nice shot by Harris.
And the defense scattered all over the place on the break. Nice job finding the wide open three.
And Holiday kicks to Leaf. Pass to O'Quinn. They set the pick. Dishes it to Holiday. And another steal for him.
And he's just been able to anticipate their every move.
Yeah, you're right. An absolute pest on the defensive end. And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Leafs got the ball. Shot by Joseph. No good. The Nets have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Dudley dishes to Russell. Back to Dudley. Six on the shot clock. Here's LeVert. No good from outside. Indiana's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Harris passes to Dudley. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for the Indiana Pacers. On Monday, they'll face off against Jimmy Butler and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then on Wednesday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the San Antonio Spurs.
And for that matchup with the Blazers, this is one where it would take a complete meltdown for them not to come away with the win. Anything can happen, but I'd be shocked if they don't come out on top.
Clark, if you were a general manager, and I think you'd make an outstanding one, during the pre-draft process in particular, a player has declined to work out for you. Would you still consider drafting him?
Yeah, I would consider it. And again, there would be some extenuating circumstances. Why has he declined? What have we seen? Obviously, I'm hopeful that my scouting staff has taken a look at him, and I've seen the kid up close and in person and done my due diligence, so I've got a comfort level with who he is and what he can become. But I don't think the declining of a workout is enough reason to just dismiss a prospect that you like.
Now here's Crabbe over Joseph. Crabbe, good.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
And Joseph kicks to Holiday. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Nets making a change here. There's a good screen. Johnson in the corner. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And the 3-ball is good.
Their three-point percentage has taken a big leap here in this second half.
And their lasers are starting to do their thing. I mean, that's going to be the ticket for them the rest of the way.
And they double up Russell. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And the Pacers with possession here. Russell against Holiday. Johnson right side. Back to Holiday. And there's the pass to McDermott. Outside Holiday. Clock at 4. From the high post. Here's Leaf. Rebounded by Dudley. Nets have gone 5 for 9 from the field in the final quarter so far. Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. There's the pick. Trying his luck deep. Musa with the bucket. Indiana's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Here's Leaf. He's guarded by Dudley. Leaf passes to Joseph. Holiday against Russell. He kicks it to Crabbe. Clark, these days, less emphasis on divisional rivalries. More emphasis, it seems, on conference rivalries. You reading that the same way?
Yeah, I am, and I think part of it is because winning your division doesn't necessarily affect your playoff seeding the way it used to. And I think if we get rid of conferences, the rivalries could shift again. So I've already laid out my position on conferences. Let's stay East and West.
And Indiana making a change here. Turner's checked in, and a switch here for Brooklyn. Allen's checked in for Jared Dudley.
One shot, gentlemen.
free throw good. Russell.
You know, a decent free throw shooter at this point in his career. D'Angelo has the natural stroke, I think, to become one of the league's best. Shoots it very fluidly and easily.
Here's Johnson. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
That's his second personal foul. At the line for your Pacers, Alize Johnson. 2 shots.
No good on that one. And the second free throw, good. We've been the 90s, Clark, when we saw the pick and roll really become a common type play. Defenses have now adjusted somewhat, but many offenses still rely on it now.
Man, you go way back to the 50s and 60s. The pick and roll has been one of the hardest plays to defend since really basketball came into existence, quite honestly. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now, with the interchangeable parts that many teams have, you have the real challenge of small guys setting screens on big guys and creating havoc. So screen and roll action, it's always a very important part of the game and a hard set to cover well on defense.
Here's McDermott following the bucket by the Nets. And it's blocked. And here is Allen. It's stolen by Johnson. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Turner with the screen for McDermott. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
McDermott does a solid job scoring close to the basket at 6'8". His size allows him to capitalize from there.
Here's Musa. Now Crabbe. Back to Allen. Shot clock at 6. Here's Musa. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Russell's got his 4th assist in this one.
Yeah, and you love how Russell keeps his eyes up. Rarely misses a guy when he's free.
Now here's Johnson. He's guarded closely. Back to Joseph. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And Corey Joseph quietly changing his game, Clark, the past few seasons to better his efficiency.
I agree with you there. I mean, he's done a nice job of recognizing the value of becoming better as a spot-up shooter. And as a result of the work he's put in, he's become pretty lethal on catch-and-shoot situations.
And he makes the first. One of those ongoing discussions about adding a 4th referee, Clark. Would that help us, you think, call the game more accurately?
No, it would just crowd the court more.
Right.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about here? There's a human element to everything we do. Calls are going to be missed. We've grown and gotten better and highlighting different aspects of calls, being more transparent about it. The video replay, I think, has been more good than bad in the game. There are going to be mistakes. You make them, I make them, the referees make them, coaches make them, players make them. We can't totally eliminate the human element of the game. A 4th official would not add to the ability to get more calls right. They're getting 94, 95% of them right now. You think another official is going to move the needle? Come on.
McDermott dishes to Turner. Allen with the rebound. Allen's got 14, 14 rebounds for him tonight. Wow. Here's Musa. And Dudley kicks to Russell. Allen with the screen for Russell. Jacks up a 3. Buries it from 3-point range.
for 3.
Russell's got 13 points here in the second half alone. Pass to Turner. Turner with the screen. To the middle. Up again. No good on that one. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. Pass to Musa. Trying his luck deep. The Pacers pull it in. Turner's got his 6th rebound on the night. And the pass to McDermott. That falls. Nice speed that time from Turner. Turner's got 3 assists tonight. Brooklyn's gone 4-7 with the long ball here in the 4th quarter. Harris kicks to Russell. Back to Harris. Passes to Musa. Here's Russell. It's rebounded by Indiana. Oladipo outside. Here's Johnson. Allen with the rebound.
And I think all the credit goes to the defense there, Kevin. Exceptional job getting the shooter to rush that layup.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will. And you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Nets.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And so with this, they'll end up with their 2nd win on the year.
And had significant points in this game. They just stayed committed to their brand of basketball. And that's why they'll be taking the front end of this 3-game season series against the Pacers.
A very solid win indeed. And when you check out the box score, there were some great numbers for D'Angelo Russell.
You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
And so here is Indiana following the bucket by the Nets. And Oladipo kicks to Johnson. Joseph, the pass to Turner. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Boy, tough trying to match Turner's intensity. I mean, once he's committed to scoring the ball, you're not stopping him.
Well, this one is winding down now. Brooklyn can watch the clock run out. Outside, Russell. And so it's Brooklyn easily grabbing this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much with Kenneth Fareed. What was the key tonight?
Just keep attacking, keep playing strong, and you know my teammates, they believe in me. Just relock in and get focused and play my game.
Great team win tonight, Kenneth. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. So long.